Okay, in this video I'm going to take a look at the defamation law in Ireland, the essentials. It's basically an overview, alright, but it will give you a good steer in terms of defamation law in Ireland. And a lot of defamation cases are beginning to crop up now as a result of the use of social media sites such as Facebook. The bottom line is that everybody has a right to a good name. They have a constitutional right, and this is given effect then in the Defamation Act of 2009, which is the principal piece of legislation on the Irish statute books to allow you to protect your good name. So what is defamation? It's the publication of a defamatory statement. The statement is about you, or you can be identified from it, so that's important. You must be identified, or it must be about you. And thirdly, it must be published to a third party, not just the person to whom it relates, i.e. you. So if I tell you that, or insult you, or make some untrue statement about you directly to your face, that's not actually defamatory. The defamation, the statement, the publication must be published to a third person, a third party. What is a defamatory statement? The Defamation Act 2009 sets out basically that it's a statement that tends to injure a person's reputation in the eyes of reasonable members of society. A company can also be defamed. It used to be the situation that a company could be defamed, but now only a natural person could be, but now a company can be defamed, and that's set out in the Defamation Act 2009. A statement then clearly, nowadays can be published in many forms, and for example, even a Snapchat could be defamatory. So a statement can be published orally, it can be in writing, it can contain visual images, sounds or gestures, it can be published on the internet, and there's many cases now of defamation on, for example, Facebook. Electronic communication, that would cover phones and Snapchat and Instagram and so on. It can be broadcast on radio or TV, obviously. What are the defences to defamation? There are 9. One is the truth. In other words, if I say something to a third party about you, it appears to be defamatory and it reduces your reputation in the eyes of right-thinking, reasonable members of society. But if it happens to be true, then it's not defamatory, it's not a defamation. Number 2, absolute privilege. The members of the Dáil, the TDs and senators and so on, enjoy absolute privilege. They can say what they like in the Dáil. Qualified privilege. Certain situations arise of qualified privilege. For example, a judge in court, or somebody perhaps quoting from a report or something of that nature. Honest opinion is also a defence, has to be honestly held up. An offer to make amends is a defence, or a sort of a defence. It depends, it may well depend on when the offer to make amends is actually made. An apology is not a full defence, but clearly it's going to reduce the reward or award against you if you have made a defamatory remark or statement. Consent to publish is also a defence set out in the legislation. Another defence is that it's a fair and reasonable publication on a matter of public interest. And finally, it's an innocent publication. In other words, it was completely inadvertent and completely innocent. The remedies for defamation: if you have been defamed, then you can obtain damages, you can look for a declaratory statement, you can look for a correction order, and you can also look for an order prohibiting publication of a defamatory statement. The statute of limitations for a defamation or a cause of action of defamation is 1 year ordinarily from the date of the cause of action. So 1 year from when the cause of action arises. However, in the interests of justice, and the courts have a certain degree of discretion, and they can allow this up to 2 years. So you can bring the case for defamation up to 2 years from when the cause of action arises, if in the interests of justice the courts decide that it's fair to extend the period. My name is Gorry. I'm a solicitor in Enfield. As you can see, if you like this video or if you found it useful, please give us a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a lot of videos on YouTube which give a good overview, I think, in plain English, of many legal issues concerning people and businesses and so on and so forth in Ireland.